Okay, so on Mem Gilam and Aleph, we had just read. Let's just read that quickly again, just for the sake of getting the big picture. Boy Rav Chanina, one more time. We read this yesterday. We'll read it again. Boy Rav Chanina, middle of the page, Mem Gilam and Aleph. Yesh tchum l'mayla me'asara, ain't tchum ma'al asara. Okay, are the tchumen above 10 or not? Amud gevaya asara rochav. Amud gevaya asara rochav arba. If we're talking about walking atop of beamers or stenders or any types of pillars of 10 tfachim high and 4 tfachim wide, and if the question is if that is lined up in a place where you're going out of the tchum, that maybe you'd be allowed to go out of there because you're above 10, that can't be the shayla. That's not the lo tibolacha. I would never ask that child the arismichtahi, because that is extended. It's a chashava place, and that becomes a new ground. So this table is its own rishus hayachid, and it, as such, has established its own ground. So if these tables were set up right by the border of the tchum, going beyond the tchum, and you wanted to walk on top of those tables, that certainly would not be a shaila. That would be also 1,000%, because granted, you're above the ground, but this is the new ground. New ground, it's a chashav area because it's own ground, and it's called arismicht. It's extended ground, which would certainly make it prohibited for you to traverse it beyond 2,000 amas. We're talking about a situation where the table is a very narrow one and does not have the 4 tefach by 4 tefach area to make it a chashuv place. So you're walking on a very narrow table or on a tightrope or anything along those lines. And the question is, if you are moving out of the tchum under those circumstances above 10 tefachim off the ground, are you viewed as being in limbo land, which makes it permissible, or does your airspace have no relevancy to the issue of tchum? Tchum is about how much you travel. I don't care whether you're on the ground or whether you're in the air. It does not matter.
If you were on these tables and they're within your tchum, you're allowed to carry on these tables.
Well, yes, because correct. Right. Okay. So nice try trying to make it confusing. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Inami. No, I understand, but right now we're talking about walking as far as opposed to carrying. We're not dealing with the carrying issue, but okay. Inami, or else the causal b'kfitza. Another way is, let's say you can jump, and you can high jump. The Forsberry flop. You remember the good old days where the guy actually, jumped the high beam in the opposite direction as he went backwards instead of forward. So he revolutionized that. So the point is, if you were able to jump high over the boundary, maybe there you'd also be okay because you're traversing that area extended beyond the tchum, above 10 tfachim off the ground, because you're a very high jumper.
Where are you jumping to?
A place outside. You want to go there. You want to jump. You want to go 10 feet more beyond the tchum, which under typical conditions you can't. But if I'm going to go in the air, I'm going to travel in the air. Well, then maybe there it's okay because I'm going through.
Wherever you're getting, you have your dalet amos, wherever you like.
I guess so. Correct. He says, okay, or lishnachrina b'sfina. Okay, or another version would be, let's say, in a boat, where this is where what Michael was saying yesterday, that if you're in a boat, technically you're more than 10 tefachim off the ground, and maybe there's no rules of tchum by boats because of the fact that it's above 10. So what's halach? So let's catch up in the Rashi's here. So yesh tchumin, slightly below the middle of the Rashi's. Yesh. Is there a prohibition of walking beyond the tchum if you're above 10, just like there is a sort of a mokum patur type of concept when it comes to carrying? We're going to carry that over to the issue of walking and the issue of tchum. So and one end of that beam is within the tchum, and the other end of the beam is outside the tchum. There's no shayla the isa tchum noig, but there's no question that would be a prohibited walk. Okay, v'yala al roishay, and you should not go on top of that bima or that table to travel on it. Shebetoch hatchum v'lo yal rosho shebetoch hatchum v'yotzel rosho acher. You can't go to the other end of the table, which would be outside of the tchum. Why not? The chazi lehiluch. Okay, because it's fit for walking. It's got a real nice surface. It's a rishus onto itself. It's called, normal traversing, normal traveling, and that would be prohibited. I mean, what? It's all flat ground. Let's say if part of the tchum was a mountain or a hill, of course, or a valley, of course, those things are all considered. So there's also like the height might change, but the essential walking component doesn't change. Rather, where is the shaila? When it's above 10 vein rochav dal, now no longer is it a very usable area. Because it's so narrow, it becomes unusable. It's not considered a rishus hayachid, more like a makkah patur situation, maybe, or a carmelist, but it's really not. It's not suitable for real usage, and therefore that maybe is where the shaila would be. Or inami b'kfitza b'shem mi have a hilucholo b'kfitza b'sham. Yeah, I guess b'sham. Okay, that's I guess you got there through jumping. Mi have a hilucholo, is that called traveling or not? When you're able to jump above 10, or Stam Sfinul Mail Mesar Maleches, a typical what?
I'm sorry, just B'Shem is the Shem Hashem.
Oh,
I'm laughing because it's Art Scroll's definition of to hover and move through the air.
By using the Shem Hashem. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, B'Kfitza B'Shem. Okay. We know that's by Yoshka they say that the Gemara there talks about the fact that he had the Shem Hashem and was able to fly. So if you can jump, at high distances or hover above the ground by using Shem Hashem, is that called hiluch or is not called hiluch? Okay. And then finally, Stam Sfina L'mayla Mi'asara. I'm not sure why, I guess typically people don't jump that high, maybe. I don't know. Nowadays, 10 Tfachim is not a big deal to jump, but I guess Rashi wants to get spooky on us.
10 Tfachim in the air, at least that high, before you cross the boundary of the Tchum.
Yeah, okay, but I could be very much near the edge, and I want to now, take a nice big jump. I mean, Beeman's long jump was like 17 feet. That was a pretty, if I remember correctly, something like that. It's a pretty, nowadays people jump quite distances. Anyway, okay, so the typical boat is above 10, and it moves, it does not land on the ground. Okay, actually, this is the next Gemara, I guess, because we're about to prove from the boat. It's similar to jumping in the air. We're about to show that clearly the boat case has a problem of tchum. So if you're right that there's no rules of tchum above 10, why would boats be a problem? Because boats are always above 10 if you measure it from the ground, typically speaking. Okay, so that's the shaila. Is there tchum above 10 or not? So back to the Gemara. Toshma. So what's the Amr of Hoshia? Toshma. So come in here. Maisa Shabo mi pal darsin. Mi pal nadarsin. The fligos finasam biyam. So the story that these Tanam came from Pal Darsin and their boat left when Shabbos already came. And there was clearly a machlokis tanoim as to what should be done in that situation. Do you have the entire boat or do you not? If you're going to argue that there's such a thing as tchum above 10, that would make sense. Why did Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shua want to be macher upon themselves? Because there is a concept of tchum. Now, granted, the boat was moving, and as we learned yesterday, a moving boat doesn't have a problem because of the whole Dalar Amis issue. It doesn't, doesn't pose an issue, but it makes sense why they were machmir, because maybe it would stop. Remember, we learned that yesterday. The boat might stop, and if it stops, they're not going to recognize it, and they're going to be walking. So at least if you're in the framework of the world of Tchumin, it would make sense why Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shua decided to hold their ground and not move beyond their Dalar Amis. Ali Amrit ain't Tchumin, but if you're going to tell me that there's no Tchumin above 10, so by definition, you are officially in a no Tchum zone. So if you're in a no tchum zone, why are you being machmir upon yourself? It should be completely free to go. Amai ratzu, why do they want to be machmir? The answer is very simple. Because not every boat goes in deep water. There are those who travel in the shallow waters, very close to the ground. Here too, it was going on the rekak. on the narrow, shallow part of the area. Okay, let's see Rashi. Did that? Amai Ratsu. Right, even if it stood still, there would be no prohibition because I'm above 10. So why would the Tanan be machmir? And the answer is, we thought it was a proof that there are tchumen above 10. Because just because you're in a boat doesn't change the rules. So we thought we had a proof. The answer is they have no proof because it's dealing berakak pachos miasara. Okay, it's 10 less than 10 from the ground. Rakak balaz garvala. Okay, rakak in Blaz is Garvala, which is that al ches.
Isn't that a minority case?
Well, listen, we have that a lot.
It's like 30 inches of water. I mean, most boats are probably in water deeper than 30 inches.
Most boats, okay, but this particular boat wasn't. So, yeah, I mean, it's a shtickle daichik, I grant you, but it is a legitimate answer to at least dislodge the proof.
And then it says that if you're in a boat that's deeper than that,
things would be different, right? It could have been. We don't know. In other words, whatever you deflect the proof, we're not answering it now. We thought we had a proof that there are tchumin above 10 because the boat clearly was a tchum issue. Mora comes back and says you have no proof. Now, is it indicated? Maybe it's indicated, but you want a proof. You don't have a proof because I can learn pshat. Like Rava said in another place that the boat was going barakak, I can learn here too that the boat was going barakak. Now, where's that other place that Rava said this answer? Toshma, let's go to the next proof. Toshma, how about this proof? Okay, yeah, I was about to skip a Toshma, but I didn't. Toshma, Pam achas loy nichnas l'nomol. Okay, the next case was one time they didn't reach the port at shechshecha until it got dark. So, meaning that they got to the port after Shabbos started, and now the question was, can they leave the boat? Or were they already in the tchum before the Shabbos hit? So what was the scenario? That was the case of the Mishnah. So same question. If there are rules of tchumin when boats are above 10 tefachim off the ground, Shapi, I understand why there was concern and question mark about what to do, leave the boat, not leave the boat. Eli Amrit, or move around throughout the boat. But if you're going to tell me there's no such thing as a tchum above 10, even if you were outside the tchum when Shabbos hit, who cares? Why do you need a telescope to start figuring out where you were? Like the Mishnah says, I figured out that you were in. Let's say you weren't in the tchum. I have a big deal. You're above 10. There's no laws of tchum in here. So it must be that since they're trying to calculate where they were when Shabbos hit, that even though you're above 10, must be there are rules of tchumin. Do we have a good proof? Mora says no. Amarava b'malachas barakak. Same deal. They went in the narrow water, and since the shallow water, and since the water was shallow, and you were within 10 tefachim off the ground. I guess it was a small boat, right? Because it was a big boat. It's hard to imagine a big boat not going down at least a good few tefachim. Okay. So I guess it was one of those, maybe like a pontoon type of thing.
Or a swamp boat.
Oh, what?
In the swamps in Florida, the boats are they're flat because the swamps are very shallow.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good. So again, no proof. We're 0 for 2 about trying to prove this issue. Toshma, let's try this one. Come in here. Hani Shev Shmaitza, this Amron B'tzipori b'Shabbata, Kamei Rav Chizda b'Sura. Okay, b'Tzafra, not b'Tzipori, b'Tzafra. There were these 7 halachas that was said over in the morning, Shabbos morning, b'Tzafra b'Shabbata, Kamei Rav Chizda. Okay, so early morning, somebody said over 7 halachas to Rav Chizda in Surah. About the Panya de Shabbat in Shabbos afternoon of that very same Shabbos, Kamei Rav b'Pumpadisa. Was said over in front of Rava or Rabba, whatever, in Pumpadisa. Now, you can't get from Sur to Pumpadisa unless you have special powers, because there was a long distance, and clearly they weren't taking the 101 by car to get there. So how in the world did anybody go from Surah in the morning and get to Pumpadisa in the afternoon? mean, you could argue it was maybe, they overdid the Kiddush Club and they just, imagined that, but that was not the case.
Or they used the Shem of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and did the big jump.
Okay, you could say that. So Man Amrinu, who was the one who said, well, but those people, okay, it could be, but we have a similar answer. So who's the one who said these 7 halachas in the morning in Surah and in the afternoon in Pumbedisa? Lav Eliyahu Amrinu. Must be it was Eliyahu Hanavi who pulled this shtick. And Eliyahu Hanavi, Mistama, would never break the laws of Tchum. Okay, I guess technically he's considered alive and therefore bound by halacha, and therefore, and if he did it, and if he flew above 10 tefachim off the ground, I guess flying too low would probably have him bump into things. So he was probably moving above 10 tefachim, and then he got to Surya. Must be that the tchum doesn't apply above 10 tefachim. So here you have a situation where the tchum does not apply, and we have a proof that how else would the halachas have traveled all that way on one Shabbos day? Alma ain't tchum and alma asara. You have a proof that there's no such thing as tchum above 10. Gemara says, "Lo, nice try, but you don't have a proof." Dilma Yosef Shida Aminu. You got Eliyahu Hanavi on one side, you got Yosef the Shade on the other. Okay, and Yosef the Shade is not bound by halacha, and he has no problem traveling. So we miss Mr. Reichik because he would always have his opinion when it comes to Shadim. Hopefully he'll be back soon, Bez Hashem, before Shlema. Yeah. Okay, so maybe, so if it was a shade, it was a demon, so proving that, again, I just got asked this question yesterday by the girls. Do we believe in Shadim? So, there might be issues about Shadim existing nowadays, but clearly in the Talmud of Gemara, there were Shadim. Many, many Gemaras we have like that. Okay, look at Rashi.
So he doesn't keep the Shabbos, so he could have walked the distance. I mean, he could have...
Yeah, what?
He could have rode his horse, his donkey.
Yeah, I don't think Shadim have any problem traveling. So yeah, you're right. It could have been a number. I don't think he needs a donkey.
But then if he gives over these halachas, I mean, who's going to pay attention to him?
Well,
he shows up in the other city.
Just because he's a shade doesn't mean halachas are wrong. I mean, the halachas were, I guess, understood in their own, in their own right, as either legit or not legit. But it sounds like they were legit. They were accepted.
They put out this big sign in front of Shrine Center for having shear this afternoon by some shade, right? Some demon. How many people are going to show up?
Mr. Reichik will.
Yeah, I think many people. Yeah, I mean, just at least once for sure. Okay. If you said person possessed by Dibuk giving shear this afternoon, trust me, the place will be packed. Okay, let's see here. We did that. Yosef Shida, the low minter Shabbata. Yosef Shade was not a Shabbos keeper. So here we have it on a Jeopardy question: do Shadim are Shadim religious?
Shabbos.
They don't keep Shabbos. So you have it. Fair Shirashi. Yeah, interesting. So how could they learn?
None of them, or just Yosef was particularly?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. He was the regular at the Kiddush Club, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I imagine all Shadim are not humans, and therefore they don't have the laws of Shabbos. Okay. But interesting, Eliyahu Hanavi does. So, yeah. I guess he's called human. Okay. Let's go weiter. So we still have not proven this issue is moving above 10 tefachim off the ground. Is that part of the laws of Tchum, or is that separate from the laws and you're free to go? And no limitation. So Toshma, let's try another one. Haredi Nazir b'yoyim shemen David ba. The guy makes a neder. I don't know. I heard this. I really don't like these. What?
It says I'm a Nazir. Come learn.
Yeah.
I'm a Nazir.
Yeah, we're about to learn that, right? So I'm just. I don't know. I don't like these predictions, but now I'm hearing the girls are getting all clamoring because somebody said Mashiach's coming in April 9th. Okay, which really upsets me because everyone starts stirring and clamoring and.
Well, wasn't that
It's election day.
Huh?
It's election.
It is?
Isn't it?
In Israel? Where?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Close to my birthday.
Because Rabbi,
is it?
who
Yeah.
was it? Rabbi Habanetsky?
Yeah.
One of the Gedolim in Israel. And I went to him and said, should I register to vote or something? And he said, don't bother because Mashiach will be here before the election.
Okay, fine. But from those
Well,
stories,
that's where it's coming from.
I hear you. Okay, those stories, havoc can ensue. Yeah. Okay, so Toshma, one more time. Haredi Nazir b'yom sheben David ba. On the day that Mashiach comes, on that day I want to be a Nazir. Okay, so I don't want to drink wine starting from the day that Mashiach comes. But the trouble is, you're sitting here in Valley Village. You don't know. Do you know when Mashiach comes? You don't know. And Maisa, you're already a Nazir from the beginning of that day, and he might show up at 9 o'clock in the morning. So what do? So mutter lishas yaim b'Shabbos v'yom tovim. If that day is Shabbos or Yontif, you're allowed to drink wine that day because you know that Mashiach did not come on a Shabbos or Yontif. However, v'yasser lishos yain kol yemos hachol. But you cannot drink wine any of the weekdays because Mashiach might come. You don't know, and retroactively from the very beginning of that day, wine would have been prohibited to you. So what does that prove? Let's see the proof. If Mashiach, if you hold that their tchumin do apply, and therefore that's why Mashiach, who for whatever reason we're assuming is flying in, okay, and if he's flying in and he's traversing above 10 tefachim off the ground, okay, if you hold his tchumin, mutter. That's why we know he's not coming. Because why can't he come? If he's flying under, if he's coming in under 10 tefachim off the ground, then I'm sorry, they're right. In other words, we're assuming he's coming in above 10, and if there's no tchum rules that apply there, then why wouldn't he come on Shabbos Yontif? Seemingly the only reason why he's not coming on Shabbos is because of the tchum factor. So it must be because tchum do apply above 10.
Where's he coming from?
Wherever he started from, I don't know. I can't answer that question. Okay,
And we know he's flying.
for some reason we know. Okay, scratch that from the tape. Okay.
I mean, the guy's supposed to start in Sfat. Okay, but where's he? How's he
Okay.
get to Sfat?
Well, I mean, he is a person in this world. He's not somebody who's coming from Shemayim. The typical understanding of Mashiach is he's a person in this world who reveals himself at the right time that he's Mashiach, with the signs, with the proper signs that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is backing him up. So, so the point of wherever he's coming from, sounds like it's here on earth, and he's flying, which it doesn't seem to be a source. It doesn't seem to be a source as to.
Or is this his trek from Sfat to Yerushalayim?
I don't know. It's not clear, but it's clear that if he's coming,
Any trip that's taken him past the tchum.
right? It's a trip taking it past the tchum above 10 tefachim. So if you're going to tell me there are rules of tchumin that do apply above 10, that's why it's mutter to be. That's why it's mutter to drink wine that day, because we know for a fact he ain't coming today. And if he ain't coming today, then you're good to drink the wine today without any problem. But if there's no such rules and limitations of Eliyam ain't tchumen kama, but if you say there's no such thing as a tchum above 10, why would it be permissible to drink wine that day? It's a very decent chance he'll be coming on Shabbos and Yontif, right? So we know he's not coming, but it's only because of the tchum factor. If it's not because of the tchum factor, why wouldn't Mashiach come on the Shabbos? Okay, so the only way to explain why you're allowed to drink wine on Shabbos would be to explain that there are rules of tchumen. Okay, so this is a proof that the above 10 the rules do apply. To which Gemara says no, maybe the rules don't apply, and the reason why it's mutter on Shabbos and Yontif to drink wine is Shani Asan the Makra. There's a different factor, nothing to do with the tchum factor, because the pasuk says, very famous pasuk, Hinei, it's a haftarah, I think twice a year. Hinei nochi shlech lechem es Eliyahu Hanavi. I'm going to send you Eliyahu Hanavi lefnei boa yom hagadol, before the great day comes. Eliyahu Hanavi is going to precede Mashiach by one day. So if he's going to precede Mashiach by one day, so you already know the day before that he didn't come. V'lo asa Elio miesmo, he didn't come. So if he didn't come, so he didn't come on Friday, and now it's Shabbos. You know that he's not coming today, because if he would be coming today, he would.
Eliyahu would have come yesterday.
Eliyahu would have come yesterday. So since he didn't come yesterday, you know that you're free today. Which the obvious question that we're all now
drink every day.
bothered by. Very good. Yachi b'chol. If that's your basis, well then every single day you should know, you should be able to drink the wine, because you didn't have the word yesterday. Everyone would have known Eliyahu Navi is here. Since we didn't hear anything, okay. What?
So that's how a lot of people hold.
Okay, so since he didn't come yesterday, I can now drink today. What's the problem? Ella, Amrina, the reason why you can't drink every other day, because just because Elionovi did not hit fake news CNN is not because he didn't come. Ella Amrina Bezdin Agadol also. Maybe he came to the Bezdin Agadol, and the rabbis at the Bezdin Agadol, the big Sanhedrin, are still schmoozing with him, and they're having a nice discussion about how life is going to be right now, and he hasn't hit the public.
He couldn't find the base.
What?
He couldn't find.
Well, no. Well, we're assuming he did find the bezin. And he's hanging out right now in the bezin. So the fact that we don't know about it doesn't mean he didn't come. Well, now obviously in the same kashi, well then hochanami. If being in the bezdin is an explanation as to why maybe he did come, but you just don't know about it, and that's why you can't drink today. Well, then why can't you? Then you should be able to drink on Shabbos too. Maybe he came on Friday. He's hanging out at the bezin agadol. Okay, Mashiach could come today, and you should be also to drink wine even on Shabbos. So the exact same factors that prohibit you to drink in the weekday should prohibit you to drink on Shabbos as well. He says, one second. So the answer is, here's the answer. It's a known haftacha, it's a promise made to the Jewish people. He ain't coming on Erev Shabbos or Yom Tov. Friday is the day that you know he's not coming. Since you know he's not coming on Friday, that clears the slate for Shabbos. Why would he not come on Friday and Erev Yom Tov? How do I know? What's the reason for that haftacha, for that promise? Nea Torach. Because, it's hard to put up cholent and to greet Elio at the same time. Okay? And especially with the lines to Continental on Friday, it would be a real hassle. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not looking to hassle us.
Mashiach ain't coming to Nolal.
What?
Mashiach's not coming.
No, but we'd have to try to agree. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it will be on a big screen somewhere. Be all universally transmitted. But the point is, so even if you're in Tzfat or you're in Yerushalayim, wherever you might be, there's going to be a concept of greeting Elio. How could you greet Elio on Friday afternoon or Erev Yom Tov when things are power packed all over the place and you're being torn between getting ready for Shabbos and getting ready for Yom Tov? So that's why you know that he's not coming on Friday, and that's why you know he's not coming on Erev Yom Tov, and that's why you know you can drink wine on Shabbos Yom Tov, because not that he can't come, he could come, but he's not going to come because of the tircha factor. Okay, so
that means you can also drink on Friday then, or Erev Yom Tov.
Why can you drink? Maybe he came on Thursday. What do you mean?
But he's not coming on Friday.
No, maybe Novia came on Thursday, okay, and you can't drink on Friday because Mashiach's coming today. But what you meant to ask probably is, well then, if Elionovi's not going to bother people, why would Mashiach bother people? And just like Elionovi's not going to come on a Friday or an Erev Yom Tov, Mashiach also won't come on a Friday or Erev Yom Tov. Why not assume that? So Kasake right now we're going to be assuming, okay, wrongfully, as will be momentarily explained, if Elionov is not coming, Mashiach's not coming either. So if that's the case, right, just like Elionovi is not going to want to disrupt your life on a busy Friday afternoon, Mashiach's not going to want to disrupt it either. So let's assume that Mashiach's not coming. If he's not coming, then you should be able to drink on Friday as well. Okay, to which more answers, nice try, but there's a very big difference between Elio and Mashiach. Okay, Elio Novi is a messenger for the Jewish people. Mashiach is a world event that everyone is going to be aware of. And as such, okay, you'd have no problem dealing with your cholent and your challah needs on Friday afternoon. If Mashiach comes, he says, Elio lo asi, Mashiach asi. Elio is not coming on Friday, but Mashiach is coming, could come on a Friday. Why? The kivin to asi, Mashiach, once Mashiach comes, hakol avad l'hein l'Yisrael. So everybody's going to be willing, all of the evangelicals are going to run to our doors and say, what can we do for you? Mashiach is here finally. Baruch Hashem, do you need help with the cholent? You need help with the challah? Whatever you need, we'll do for you. So we're going to have immediate access to not like mamish slaves, but certain people who are going to be willing to help us out. So Mashiach is not going to be a problem. If he came on a Friday, we'd have plenty of people to help us out while we're greeting him at Ben Gurion. He would we would be able to fend for ourselves for Shabbos with the help of the Goyim. Okay, so one more question. B'chad b'Shabbat lishteri, but let's make it mutter on Sunday. Why wouldn't he come on Sunday? Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be that you should be able to? Because Elionavi did not come on Shabbos, so since he didn't come on Shabbos, he's not coming on Sunday. Liv sheminei de ain't chumin. Because if you held that there was a problem of tchumin, b'chad Shabbat lishteri, kedelo asel b'Shabbos. Okay, so one last point. Well, then if that's the case, since we know he's not coming on Shabbos, and why wouldn't he come on Shabbos? Only because of the tchum factor, and since so must be that there's no tchum problem on Shabbos. Because if there was a tchum problem on Shabbos, we would know that he's not coming on Shabbos, and Sunday would therefore be mutter. To which more answers, yes and no. Haitana Sfuke Misafkele, this Tana was doubtful. He wasn't sure. This is a very good shaila about tchum applying above 10, and he was in doubt. Yesh tchumin, he ain't tchumin. Uluchumra, and therefore the reason why you can't drink wine on Sunday is because maybe there are no tchumin, in which case he could have come. If he could have come, then Sunday becomes a problematic day. So since he wasn't sure, he was machmir. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of the tchum issue above 10, meaning that we have no proof. We tried to maneuver every which way, but at the end of the day, we have no proof.
For the second day of Rosh Hashanah?
What?
What do they do for the second day of Rosh Hashanah?
So you're not confused enough. You need to start.
Well, does he drink wine, or is Mashiach coming? I mean, what do you?
Why wouldn't he drink wine? He's a regular nuv. He's a regular person, right?
No. This guy that's supposed to be the Nazir. If Mashiach comes, he becomes a Nazir.
Right.
And he can't drink wine. So what does he do for the second day? We talked about Shabbos. We talked about Yom Tov.
So somebody else have to make kiddush for him. I mean, that's Damakasha. That's, what does any Nazir do on Shabbos?
No, he's not a Nazir yet because Mashiach hasn't come.
Well, but he might come if he
Right.
could come. So
But
the halach is
could Mashiach come the second day of Rosh Hashanah in Israel?
That's a great shaila, but nothing to do with our Gemara. Okay, so we're not dealing with theoretical.
Probably the whole problem.
What do you mean no problem? We didn't mention Rosh Hashanah once. So let's keep things. Let's stay focused on what the Gemara does say. Fine.
But it's,
Yeah.
But if the only reason he doesn't come, that the Eliyahu Navi doesn't come on Erev Yom Tov is because it's on Torah. So he could come on the first day Rosh Hashanah. If he could come on the first day Rosh Hashanah, then the second day Rosh Hashanah.
Okay, but again, that depends on tchumen or not. That depends on tchumen. So since maybe there's no tchum, in which case he could have come on Rosh Hashanah. In which case, yeah, maybe. But why are we talking about this? Okay.
Because the halacha is that he doesn't come on Yom Tov.
Right. Clearly, could come on Shabbat. Right. I mean,
and we're wondering if why not on the second day? Because there's no Torah on the first day.
Who's wondering? Okay, I mean, we see from this Gemara that he could come on Shabbos. So, I mean, in other words, forget to say the Rosh Hashanah. Could he come on a day that there's Yisra Malacha? Yes, he could. The biggest raya is the Gemara has the kasha. You should allow to do Malacha on Sunday.
This is when Eliyahu could come, but when Mashiach, we're saying Mashiach can't come on Shabbos. Right, we're saying Mashiach cannot come on Shabbos because Eliyahu Navi will not come on Erev Shabbos.
Okay, but he could come on second day because.
That's what.
Okay, fine.
Because Eliyahu Navi could come on the first day of Rosh Hashanah because there's no Torah, so the Mashiach could come on a Yom Tov, which is the second day of Rosh Hashanah.
Okay.
And that's the question. So, how can we say that he can't come on the second day of Rosh Hashanah?
We don't say that. We never said that. So
He didn't say anything.
We never discussed second day Rosh Hashanah. We never said he can't come on the second day. Okay, maybe he could. Okay, so
We'll wait for Eliyahu to tell us.
Okay. Okay, Tekus, the Gemara has to say Tekus. We don't say Tekus. Okay, let's see Rashi. Okay, B'Shabbos Yom Tov, last Rashi in Omen Aleph, the Vadei lost him Shachidna, right? So you know he's not coming today, and since you know he's not coming today, it would be permissible to drink wine today. Okay, but it's also all week that Dilmasi, because he might come. And if he comes today, you are Nazir from the beginning of the day, and you are therefore cannot drink wine. If they buy Yom Hashem. So he says, so the reason why he can't drink is if they bias ben David, Levaser. Before before Mashiach comes, the day before that, Eliyahu is coming to let everyone know. Interesting. In other words, it sounds like he's letting everyone know that everyone should do tshuva. So it sounds like Eliyahu comes and tells us if we're ready to do tshuva, then we're in. A lot of people are nervous that I'm not going to be in. When Mashiach comes, sounds like all you got to do is do tshuva. I mean, obviously it's better if you do tshuva before, but as long as you're ready to get the message from Eliyahu, it sounds like you're in the ballpark. Torah. So we know he's not coming on Friday because Sheminich and Tzorach and Shabbos Vochen LaHakbil Panav. They're going to leave their needs of Shabbos that they're preparing for, and they're going to go receive the face of Eliyahu Navi, which is going to leave us in a big quandary. So Mashiach also won't come. No, Avodim Heim Ve'in Yisrael Torach Dika de Torach Lahu. It's not going to be a problem for the Jewish people because the Goyim at this point will already be volunteering to do work for us, saying what do we need, and we'll have thousands of Shabbos Goyim ready to roll. Okay, then let's assume b'chad b'Shabbat lishteri the vadi lo'as Mashiach hayoim. Okay, let's assume on Sunday that it's mutter to drink the wine. Why are we saying all weekdays it's usher? Let's assume it's mutter the Sunday of that week. Why? Because he did not come yesterday. Okay, why wouldn't he come yesterday? Because of the tchum problem. And since the mice we say you can't drink on Sunday, let's assume that clearly it's based on the fact that we are afraid he might have come on Sunday. On Shabbos, which would make today a potential Mashiach day. And if he could have come on Shabbos, and he's clearly traveling above 10, just like Mashiach, when he traveled, was above 10, here too he's traveling above 10, and must be that he could come. Must be could come, and must be there's Ein Chumin. And we answered not so fast. He says, okay, you can't prove that there's definitely no tchumen problem, which is why we know that he could have come. That's why Sunday's usher. Because maybe the Tana was doubtful about this issue, about whether or not there's chumen. Lai Tana, the Dilma ain't chumen. Maybe there is no chumen. Maybe that's why he asked Sunday l'chumra, and he went l'chumra just in case. But he wasn't absolutely certain the Talif heter to learn how to heter. So if you want to run to a heter to say there's definitely no tchumen, not so fast, because maybe it was a doubt, and since it's a doubt, we have to machmir. I'll pick this up tomorrow.